talking about Python tuples. So like lists, tuples are used to store multiple items in a single variable. Okay, so now the difference is that tuples use the circular brackets instead of square brackets. Okay, now, so a tuple, it's important to note that it's ordered, okay, like with lists, but it's unchangeable, okay? So they are written with round brackets. So here we have our rounded brackets here, and then our items inside of our tuple. Okay, so it's used to store a collection of items. So here we just got integers, but we can store other things like strings and booleans and so on. Now tuples do allow duplicates. Okay, so you can have multiple, you can have the same value. Okay, as you can see here, equals, my tuple is equal to that. So how we access items in our tuple is the same way as how we access items in a list. So if you wanted to access number 3, we start from 0, 1, 2, 3. So we need position 3. So that would be the name of the tuple, square brackets, 3. And that will equal 3. Okay. If you wanted to access 5, position 4, because we start from 0. Now, because tuples are unchangeable, and that's essentially immutable. If something is immutable, it means that it cannot be changed. But if it's mutable, it means that it can be changed. So tuples are immutable. Because they can't be changed, if we wanted to update a value, we need to do a lot more work compared to just updating a value in a list. So if we wanted to update the number 5 in our tuple, what we would need to do is we would need to first we'll need to convert it to a list. Okay, so we type in list followed by these rounded brackets, and that converts it to a list. And now that it's a list, we have all of the we can now use this as it's a list. So if you wanted to change 5, then it would be temp list. We're going to change position 4. Let's say we wanted to change this to 6, and then what we can do now is my tuple is equal to tuple, because we are going to convert this back to a tuple. So like how we convert things to integers and strings, we can convert things to tuples and lists. So now, this is how we would essentially change our tuple. As you can see, it's a lot of work, so it's easier just to have it as a list in the first place. So the same thing applies for like if you wanted to add or remove. But you can see the example of lists in a previous video to see how you would add or remove from a list. So let's go on Replit and let's make our tuple. So rounded brackets. So there's my tuple. We're just going to print that, as you can see, with the rounded brackets. Now, if we wanted to access, I don't know, position, we want to get number 5 from the tuple, square brackets, index 4, because indexes start from 0. Now, if we wanted to now change 5 to be 6, it's a bit longer than doing this compared to a list because tuples are immutable. So we have to convert it to a list, which is mutable, make our changes, and then convert it back to this tuple. So my list is equal to list, yeah? And as you can see, it's turned to a function here, so we're going to pass in our tuple to convert. So now we have our list. So you can do my list position 4. Let's make that equal to 6. And now we can convert this back to a tuple using the tuple function. So now, if you were to print my tuple, you can see that 5 should be changed to 6. There you go. 11136. Thanks for watching.